Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. It's been a little while since I've done a little more of a beginner video, although this is going to include some extra stuff for people who might be on the Romantu and Marius missions. But I do want to talk about Arbiter and the traps that a lot of newer players can fall into, especially with regards to the Great Hall. Now, I am still very far from maxing this out completely, but there's a lot of stuff along the way, especially for new players, that you can fall into a trap and that'll set you back in terms of getting Arbiter, one of the best characters in the game, and also one of the easiest ways to get a arena speed aura. This is so important. And I even use her in live arena as well. I have two different characters in live arena that has a speed aura, so that in case one person gets banned, I still have another. And of course, the fact that she raises turn meter for all allies by 30%. This stuff is just so important when it comes to PvP. So getting her unlocked as soon as you possibly can is going to help you significantly in those game modes, which unfortunately for some people are very important, right? Getting more upgrades to your Great Hall, getting wins in live arena, which will then help you into getting further in your area bonuses. These are all things that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. But before we get started, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right to get Karato Fox Hunter, Legendary of the Shadowkin for free. And you can also get 3 amazing epics for your journey: Ugo, Lady Annabelle, and Thane at account level 10, 20, and 30. Some amazing epics there. And that's not all, because until the end of August, you can get yourself Tholan Foulbeard absolutely free by using the promo code Demon Slayer within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. I use this guy every single day. So let's get started with what I was talking about. Right. So how can you get Arbiter a little bit quicker? It kind of has to do with understanding the Arbiter missions. Now, I have already done this, but there is some really great guides on Hell Hades' website. I have talked to Hell Hades Gaming, right? There's a great article about the Arbiter missions. There's a lot, like they're all there. TLDR, basically, if you go through the game, the Arbiter missions is the best way to kind of tutorial you through the game and all of the major kind of hurdles of the game, especially early on with dungeons, gear, that kind of thing. So if you're a new player, make sure you're just following the Arbiter missions, right? But there's a few things that I want to talk about, and you'll start to notice. Honestly, I forget where it is, and I want to find it. Upgrade a Great Hall bonus, so you get down here. But then later on, there's a few other ones. Upgrade a Great Hall bonus to level 4. This is pretty important. Upgrade 2 Great Hall bonuses to level 2, and then there's one further down. 2 Great Hall bonuses to level 4. So I want to go to the Great Hall really quickly. This is my Great Hall. It's so a little bit all over the place, because to start, that's how I end up doing without knowing some of the things I'm going to be talking about today. Now, the major thing that you need to do for the Arbiter is to get 2 affinity bonuses to level 4, right? That's basically what it says here. Upgrade 2 Great Hall bonuses to level 4. What I would personally recommend is that accuracy is the most important stat next to speed in Raid Shadow Legends. So choosing your 2 best affinities and take them up to accuracy level 4. That's what I would do for that part of the Arbiter mission. Now, for me, when I started playing the game, it was magic, because I had a lot of characters that were magic. I started at a time where Alice the Wanderer was my biggest character. Lately, there was a chase character for Lemonici, right? So if that's one of your best characters, where's my Lemonici? It would be down here, because I haven't really spent too much time on her. But if this is your best DPS character, then I could see people going for Force, right? Force accuracy, this kind of thing. Whoever your best top characters are, I would do the accuracy for those 2 categories. I typically would not do Void until much later, and I fell into a little bit of a trap here as well, which I'm going to talk about. So doing the 2 of the 3 that you have the most best characters of, that is what I would focus on, to level 4. And then once you get those 2 at level 4, there is another one down here where you just have to upgrade a single one up to level 7, and then again to level 8, and then to 9, and then finally upgrading a Great Hall bonus to level 10. So again, for me, I focused on accuracy magic. This was the one that I did the most, and this is the one that I focused to level 10. So in order to get Arbiter unlocked, you need 2 at level 4, and you need 1 at level 10. Now, this was me for the Great Hall for Magic, like I just said. Now, I did end up going back and doing my second accuracy, because again, this is the most important stat. So once you do get one of them to 10, work on getting your second one to level 10 as well. And it doesn't end there, because the current missions that I'm on, and this is something that I didn't know, and you saw that my void and my spirit were kind of all over the place there, that when you get to Romantu, which unlocks at Romantu and Marius both unlock once you're after once you do unlock Arbiter. Like, this is a pretty big deal. Get Arbiter unlocked, you can start working on some of the other two, which is more end game content, or at least like hard mode dungeons and Doom Tower and Cursed City and this kind of stuff, and Iron Twin Fortress, all of these other kind of dungeons. And then right here at mission 25 for Romantu is upgrade 3 affinity bonuses to level 10. And this is something that I was not aware of, right? I did not look ahead. I did not think about this. And at the time, I had a lot of characters, a lot of void characters that I was using that also needed accuracy. So I decided to kind of like level them up. I did them both. I kind of like went one here, one here, one here, one here, went back and forth. And so what I'm working on now is I'm almost there. Is I just need about 280 more medals, which is a pain. Getting these medals suck, but what I did was I'm going to be finishing this off for Spirit, and then I'll go back to Void. But I'm going to finish off Spirit so that I can finish this Romantu mission so that I can keep barreling ahead. Now, as far as the other ones go, I'll be honest, that's something that I actually have to look myself, right? Like, is there another one where it says I need to get 4 affinities to for the Great Hall? And that's something that I haven't really actually looked ahead, which I probably should. There's masteries, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is, I believe there's an article up here for Raid Shadow Legends for Romantu missions and Marius missions as well. But specifically, I want to look for Great Hall, right? Great Hall. Upgrade 3 Great Hall bonuses to level 10. What's next? Upgrade 5 Great Hall bonuses to level 10. Upgrade 10 Great Hall bonuses to level. This is quite lengthy, right? So, okay, now that I know that, right, at some point, I need 10 of these at level 10. Right, that is the ultimate goal for Romantu. So I guess I'm going to be going down the accuracy, and after that, I think I'm going to be going defense and or HP. And the reason for this is because I think that all characters can benefit from these stats. HP and defense are survivability stats. Not all characters can rely or can take advantage of attack or critical damage, right? If they're a support character, they don't really get much out of it. But everybody can make benefit of HP and defense, right? Because that'll help you survive longer. So I think that is something that I will do in the similar vein as accuracy, right? The characters that I use the most, that's what I'll be focusing on, but one at a time. And I think that that's the most important, one at a time, because if you go all over the place, it's just going to take you that much longer, and that you won't progressively be able to clear these missions. So that's for the affinity bonuses. That's really important to understand. And I just actually wanted to double check if Marius has any of that for Great Hall while we're here. I don't know. Oh, they do. Spend 200 crests in the Great Hall. Okay, so crests, right? So that's just these tokens, right? That's just these, isn't it? Arena medals? Crests? Maybe? Or maybe that's something different. Spend 200 crests in the Great... Oh, I think that might be live arena. I think that's actually live arena. I think that's the area bonus. These are crests, right? Yeah, okay, that's live arena. Never mind. Romantu, sorry, Marius does not have crest. Okay, so that's not too big of a deal. All right. But now, how do I get these done a little bit quicker? Well, I would go into the arena, and I know this sounds tedious as all hell, but just make sure that you're going in here and you're refreshing literally as frequently as you can. And sometimes it's going to suck, because sometimes you're going to get crap that you're not going to be able to do, right? But if you refresh this enough, you're eventually going to find some that maybe are a bit easier to clear. And to be honest, if their team power is a little bit lower, you might still be able to get through this. Depending on your speed, right? Maybe you have a speed lead. This is my team. I don't actually use Arbiter in my main team. This is my classic arena team here. So like I said, I was able to speed beat them. And sometimes I do take that risk and that chance to see whether or not I do that. And you just have to do this as much as you can, right? I kind of take a look at the team power. Typically, if their team power is lower, usually I would say that their gear is probably a bit lower as well. So you might have a decent chance of being able to outspeed them. And you just got to do this as much as you can. Maybe checking this on your phone or something like this and doing it every 15 minutes if you really want to grind this out and get this done as fast as you can, because this is going to be one of the bigger hurdles for Arbiter, and also it seems for Romantu as well. So that's just something to keep in mind there. Now, I do want to give a special shout out mention to the Great Hall for the area bonuses and what I've been doing. There's kind of two trains of thoughts, and this is just in general. I don't play a lot of live PvP, but I probably should play a little bit more, right? These are important because these are all PvE stats, but I do want to say things that you absolutely should avoid. And that's going to be the easy stuff, right? Avoid potion keeps. In my opinion, I think you should avoid most of the dungeons as well. Ice Golem Peak, Fire Knight's Castle, Dragon's Lair, Spider's Den. I would avoid all of that. Doom Tower is it's questionable, I think. Iron Twins Fortress also, I did not need that. I have a couple of, but I really don't need this to be able to beat it. If you have good champions that you pull later on, it makes it significantly easier. And this basically kind of brings it down to a couple areas. I want to kind of go back to faction wars a little bit because this is slightly more relevant now with hard mode faction wars. This is not something that I'm currently doing, but it will be something that I hope to tackle in the near future. And these are very cheap to upgrade, right? Even at this, like I could upgrade this. Like a couple of wins will get you upgrades for these for different categories. And while I wouldn't do things like resistance, there was some validity to do things like accuracy, speed, these kinds of things in faction wars, which is very, very cheap to upgrade compared to the other ones. It's grade 1, right? And then for grade 3, it's going to be Demon Lord battles and Hydra battles. This depends on where your current progress is at. I personally believe that you can actually get to Ultra Nightmare and clearing that without doing anything in the Demon Lord battles category. These were some things that I upgraded earlier on because I wasn't really thinking that hard about it. So it's nothing significant. I have like 1 level, 2 levels in a few of them. It's not a lot. But Hydra is some of the most challenging content in Raid Shadow Legends, and where I would consider, adding some bonuses in here for you guys. Accuracy, speed, ignore defense, HP like all of these really, because Hydra is really hard. They hit hard. They have higher, accuracy requirements. You need to do a lot of damage. You need to survive. And there's six characters per Hydra battle, right? Or to a total of 18 characters. So you're gonna use a lot of your champions here as well. I'm not really of the opinion of upgrading for Sand Devils, Necropolis, and Phantom Shogun Grove, but that's just me. It's also expensive at grade 3. Cursed City is also just so random that for me, it's just not something that I want to do. But I would be interested to hear your thoughts for people who have been playing longer than me in the comments down below where you would put your area bonuses if it's something different than what I've mentioned. I would personally save it for either Hydra battles or faction wars. And the reason why I say faction wars is because I do think that this is very important to making sure that you can unlock Lydia the Death Siren, as early as you possibly can. The earlier the better, right? And working your way towards this is not only important for crafting materials, for perception and stuff like that, but also just working towards her and getting her unlocked because she's a very powerful character. So just some things that I wanted to kind of like a public service announcement, kind of let you guys know about what you should do, what you shouldn't do, in my opinion, of course, and being able to unlock Arbiter that much faster, especially if you're a new player. Did want to cover a little bit of the Marius and Romantu missions, and more of a heads up, just to like if you're on Marius or Romantu, just kind of maybe look ahead a little bit just to see what some of the things that you have to maybe watch out for, especially things like spending mortal soul coins in the Mystic Market. Something that you might want to keep an eye on some of these things about what you have to do. Equip a champion with a Swift Parry set for Romantu. That's not something that I craft very frequently, so that might be something that I might have to do in the near future as well. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. But before we go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right or in the link in the description to get yourself Karato, Fox Hunter, Legendary of the Shadowkin for free, and 3 amazing epics to go alongside him: Ugo, Lady Annabelle, and Fane at account level 10, 20, and 30. And you can also get yourself a Legendary Tholin Falbeard absolutely free by using the promo code Demon Slayer within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. So don't delay. 2 legendary characters and 3 epics. That's it for now, everybody, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.